Hey real fans, welcome back to the channel. We've got some news today. We have a brand new patch that I believe is out today and will be coming within the next 24 hours for PS5 players. And we also have an update on not just the East Coast mainline timetable, but also New York-Trenton, which there have been a lot of questions in regards to that. So I'm going to get to New York-Trenton a little later in this video, but cover, of course, the East Coast mainline patch and timetable first. So Dovetail posts on the forums. Hello everyone. Thank you to all for the feedback during the early access period of Train Sim World 4. Our teams have been working hard to deliver the best experience over this time, and today we're sharing a set of audio improvements to the Class 801 Azuma on East Coast Mainline. These improvements should now be live on all platforms except PS4, which will follow in the next 24 hours. So not PS5, excuse me, my bad, but PlayStation 4 users. Going to be getting this a little bit later. So for East Coast Mainline, they fixed multiple collision issues where the player would fall through the world or end up stuck in patched up holes in the scenery. I personally haven't had any issues with that, but that's great to see fixed. And for the BR Class 801 Azuma, lots of fixes. Finally, I don't know why I say finally, it's only been a couple of days, but when you've been playing this all day, every day, it gets a little irritating. They increased AWS and TPWS audio to improve the volume of audio warnings. They fixed issues for text on the Loco PAS board, preventing overlapping and adjusting scroll speed. They increased the volumes of the cab running sounds, traction motor sounds, transformer sounds, cab joint sounds, and door seal sounds. This is another good one because I also remember saying when I was playing through in my video, you know, it's kind of quiet in this cab. I didn't know if that was normal, but apparently that wasn't how it was supposed to be. So glad to see those fixes implemented so early on as well. They fixed an issue with the TPWS audio and not playing the words correctly. They adjusted attenuation so volume levels are audible from further away. And lastly, in Livery Designer, when changing carriages, the UI text Class 801 LNER will no longer appear. Hey, I have a small request. I doubt they're watching these videos, but when we're spawning trains in by hitting the tab key in either free roam mode or in service mode, can they make it so that we can actually see the pictures of what we're adding? Because sometimes we don't know what all these classes are, especially if you're not a UK player and you don't know UK locos. And I'm sure the same could go for other players that don't know American stuff. It'd be nice to see a picture, as sometimes we don't know exactly what we're placing down by reading the text. That'd be a nice change I'd like to see. So there is a timetable update. They write, in addition to the patch, with the launch of Train Sim World 4 tomorrow, we are releasing a reduced timetable for Gen 8 players when compatible content layers become available. Progress will be shared between the normal and reduced timetable. So that's good. This is really good for Gen 8 players. I know sometimes the Gen 8 players want the full timetable, but unfortunately your systems can't handle it. So I think this is the best option to really maximize performance. They write, depending on your platform, whether you select the normal or reduced timetable, you will receive the following contents. So there's a lot on the normal timetable. For PC, Xbox X, and PlayStation 5, you're going to get HST, MML static and playable, Class 700, Class 158, Flying Scotsman, and Class 66, all AI and playable, SOS as AI, RHTT, playable and AI, Glossoblind AI, and TVL, NTP, WSR, GWE, AI, and Southeastern High Speed AI layers. Some will be in Doncaster Works as static AI. So there's a lot that's going to be added in terms of layers. So this route is really going to come to life even more. And I actually like how lively it is and how much there is going on for a route that doesn't have so many commuter stops. The stations are pretty far apart in my opinion on this route. So to see so many more layers being added is really nice. What I want to know though is, are a lot of these going to be just at, you know, the northern or southern ends of the route, or are these AI services going to be driving, you know, point to point, end to end? Are you just going to be seeing them at the end? I really hope that a lot of these are going to be traversing the entire route, but I don't have enough knowledge of this route or of this region to know exactly how these are going to be implemented. So for Xbox One, Xbox Series S, and PlayStation 4, you're going to get HST, Flying Scotsman, Class 66, GWE, NTP, SOS, Glossoblind, RHTT, SEHS, TVL, and WSR. Mostly as AI, but HST, Flying Scotsman, Class 66, and GWE do have playable as well. And of course, for the reduced timetable on PC, Xbox Series X, and PlayStation 5, you'll have access to Flying Scotsman and Class 66, both playable and AI layers, players, and Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and PlayStation 4 will have the same as above. However, we'll see a slightly reduced amount of static stock. So there's a lot of options here. There's a lot of variables for different systems. And also, if you choose the reduced timetable, I'm assuming you're going to have the option to choose a reduced timetable because they also put PC on here, but also PC was included on the normal timetable. So I like how we have the option to choose a more reduced one if we want to have the best performance possible if you have a weaker system. I like that. They do write, of course, before I even get to it, players can choose the normal or reduced timetables. For best performance, we strongly recommend that you are on the following platforms. You select the following timetables. PS4, Xbox One, Series S, use the reduced, and PS5, Xbox Series X, or PC, use the updated timetable. Lastly, they have, depending on your hardware, you may choose to play on the reduced timetable if you're struggling with performance, as in certain locations, it can be very demanding on your system. All right, and on to the most important part, at least for me, in my opinion, of the video, PC editor in New York-Trenton, guys. Oh my gosh, I was a little disappointed hearing they were potentially going to cut freight, and yes, it's confirmed, they're cutting freight, and it doesn't sound like it's ever going to be coming. They kind of make it sound like it could be coming in the future, maybe, possibly, but it's not happening. They reveal there are no plans, so that means it's not happening. We're not getting any freight. I still hope we're getting static freight in yards though, but you know what? It is what it is. We're getting 5 times the amount of services. I did read that, so we're gonna get through this here. JD writes, hello folks, tomorrow is the big day. Not only is Trains in World 4 released, but with it comes a slew of additional updates to some of your favorite content. Full details will be provided in tomorrow's update notes, but we know you're champing at the bit to know about, in particular, the status of the PC editor and Trenton timetable update. So we have news that the Train Sim World PC editor beta will launch tomorrow. There was talks that it potentially might not launch tomorrow, but I am so happy that it actually is. With the full launch of Train Sim World 4, it will be available from the Epic Store. Searching Train Sim World PC editor should take you to the download page. We'll be doing some live stream masterclasses on how to get the best out of the tool over the coming weeks, but we can't wait for you to try it out yourself with the tools our team use. As a final note, the editor is in a beta format and therefore liable to changes and amendments. We recommend that whilst we're working with you on building and amending the tool, that you try out its various functionalities and let us know your thoughts. Larger scale projects, root building are something we recommend when the tool is a little further progressed. Yeah, I was literally just getting ready to say that. I hope, because they're announcing here it's launching as beta, that people aren't going to day one start creating a 75 to 90 mile route, or maybe even longer. That's something that I think should be waiting at least 6 months to even think about starting, because there's going to be a lot of changes with this, and what would suck is making a lot of progress through this beta and then they make changes and edit and something goes wrong and you can't, recover your progress, or it just makes it harder to try to complete something you started. So I think that those types of things should definitely wait. I'm definitely going to try to create some scenarios, but I'm even going to be waiting on timetables for a while until, we get a more stable version of this out, because creating full routes with a beta, that's quite the risk, So here's the update on New York to Trenton. The updated timetable will see many more New Jersey Transit playable and AI services. Long Island Railroad AI layer is added at New York Penn and out through Sunnyside, and those make up a lot of trains, guys. You are going to see so much going on at New York Penn now, not just with the New Jersey Transit, but also the Long Island Railroad as well. And they even mention adding more Amtrak layers, which I was kind of surprised by because I thought they already had all the Amtrak services in the game, which kind of threw me for a loop. I don't know where I read it, but it was in another thread. Adding around 5 times the services from the original timetable, there is now just over 2,000 playable and AI services. That is insane. So this route is really coming to life now, guys, but it will take quite the hit on your system, of course, if you're not running with lots of RAM. So there will be an option for a reduced timetable, which I think the original will be the reduced timetable. JD writes, players can choose the new timetable or the existing Train Sim World 3 timetable reduced. So they're not making a reduced. The Train Sim World 3 one is the reduced one. For best performance, we strongly recommend that if you are on the following platforms, you select the following timetables. PS4, Xbox One, and Series S use the original Train Sim World 3 reduced, and then PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC use the updated. Depending on your hardware, you may choose to play on the reduced timetable, so it is an option, of course, if you're struggling with performance, as in certain locations, it can be very demanding on your system. As mentioned last week, we have had to manage content with performance, so AI freight will not be part of the launch build for all players. And they write it like as it will not be a part of the launch build, so it kind of like instills hope a little bit. Oh my god, if it's not a part of launch, will it be coming later on? No, it's not. It is confirmed that there are no plans, and JD did write there are no plans for this, which basically means, in my opinion, no, it's not happening like ever, so don't expect it, honestly. Progress is not shared between the normal and reduced Trenton timetables, as the experience is so different. Your existing progress should map onto the reduced timetable. I did expect this. I honestly did expect progress to not be shared, because I knew with them adding this many services, it changes almost everything about all the services. Even if you've completed all the Amtrak ones, there's so much going on now that the times, the start times and station stop times and the pathing is probably all different. So I can see why the progress is not shared, but it makes me happy because my progress from the original timetable is still going to be there. So I get to keep all of those gold medals, but now just re-earn them again and get basically double the amount for everything that I've created and then some for all the additional services. So there's a lot more going on here, and I like that. Lots more opportunity to earn more medals and a higher score for this route. Of course, they mentioned the East Coast Mainline patch. We're not going to read this part because I just covered it. And at the end, they have compatible content. We expect all compatible content to start rolling out from launch time. That's 1500 UTC on consoles and 1700 UTC on PC, but it may take a little while for it all to roll out. We can't wait to see what chaos you can create with free roam mode and also the layers launching to enhance your experience of the core Train Sim World 4 routes. I already thought it was fun without the layers, and now we're getting the layers, so I'm just very excited about that. Of course, they closed this off with thank you for all your feedback and amazing screenshots so far. We really enjoyed reading and seeing them roll on tomorrow. I gotta say, the photo mode has been absolutely insane. I have been having a field day with it. I can't even get through a single service because I stop every 5 seconds to take pictures in photo mode. It's kind of insane, but that's pretty much it for this video, guys, in terms of the update. I wanted to cover everything for you guys. Let me know your thoughts. What are you most excited for? Are there any disappointments with this? Of course, for me, it's the freight layers. I am sad about that, but I know there is just nothing we can do, honestly. It is what it is. Hey, I mean, now that we have the editor on PC, at least, we can make a new timetable and we can put our own freight, and we can still drive our own freight on the route with free roam mode and service mode. So I still plan on doing that. But as far as seeing AI freight while you're driving passenger, unfortunately not something you're going to see. That's it from me. Thank you for watching. Happy rail simming, everyone.